Mr. James, a couple of things that Mr. Nichols didn't say that I think are also extremely important is this isn't your first driving while intoxicated. This is your third.
Today's case is chilling. Mr. James pled guilty to intoxication manslaughter after a crash that killed Mr. Addison, a husband, father, and son. What makes this case different? James has a 20-year history of substance abuse and repeat DWIs. The defense will argue he's reformed, while the prosecution demands the maximum 50 years. And then, the victim's mother delivers a heartbreaking impact statement that silences the room. Stick around, you won't believe how this unfolds.
And Mr. James was previously in court, entered a plea of guilty to the first-degree felony offense of intoxication manslaughter with a vehicle. I've received the pre-sentence report and also a supplemental memorandum from probation that includes several letters from the victim's family members. Has everyone had an opportunity to review all of that?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
Are there any additions or corrections to that pre-sentence report?
No, Your Honor. I just want to make the court aware. Mrs. Addison, the deceased wife, would have been here today to do victim impact. She had to go to the hospital yesterday. She's able to tune in, I believe, and watch us. The rest of Mr. Addison's family is here, and his mother is going to want to do victim impact at the.
The defense leans hard into redemption. His GD, baptism, new job skills. It's meant to show change. But remember, rehabilitation doesn't erase responsibility. And when the same drug that fueled this crash, PCP, has followed him for decades, the judge has to ask, is this true reform or just words before sentencing? What do you think? Should his efforts count, or is it too little, too late?
In a sentencing.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nichols. Any witnesses with regard to sentencing?
No additional witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lewis, you may make argument.
Okay. Judge, of course, this was a very tragic situation that has affected a lot of people. The decedent, Mr. Addison, his family, as well as Mr. James and his family. It was a situation where, this was a combination of a long substance abuse history of Mr. James. The assessment that's provided in the PSI even says that there was about a 20-year relationship between Mr. James and different substances over a period of time. We have. So one thing I can say is that once Mr. James went through this situation with his accident, he has been doing everything he can to try to better himself. He has got his high school diploma. He was baptized. That has definitely changed his ways and going to his faith and continuing in that regard. He's also got some different certifications that he was able to receive, with OSHA, I think it was Men's University, things of that nature to try to better himself, Judge. Now, it's no secret he does have a long criminal history that even included dealing with PCP, which is the same substance that was involved in his accident, and as well as other serious offenses. I do want to address something as far as I know there's some situations here dealing with the jail instances, and I know how the court proceeds or looks at the situation here dealing with those. Mr. James, if you look at these situations, majority of them did come from situations involving him and other inmates, as far as any type of fight or anything like that, which unfortunately some things he can't avoid. But as far as anything dealing with being disrespectful, anything towards jail employees or things of that nature, there's one situation I think that they were talking about that it wasn't an actual write-up, but it was notated. He has been a trustee over there for a period of time at the jail as well. Now,
Notice how the defense minimizes James's jail write-ups, just fights with inmates, not staff. But courts see it differently. Any violence behind bars reflects poor judgment. If he can't stay out of trouble in a controlled environment, how safe would he be on the streets? That's the red flag the judge is weighing right now.
I do want to point out that, of course, some of those situations that Mr. James was able to do the better of himself, of course, could definitely increase his earning potential as far as what he has as far as his job situation. He does have significant family support. His brother is here today in the courtroom. For in any way is there to try to help him help us secure employment. My understanding is the plan, once he is able to be released, this can for him to be moved to Houston, Harris County areas to be close to the brother, to help him with everything over there. Now PSI did have a recommendation for his different vehicle state that support that's available to him through the probation department. What I will say is that everything that has been recommended, he definitely needs and will be better for him. We are not, and ourselves are not asking for a specific number or anything like that. We just want him to be able to, of course, make amends for this situation as much as possible, which could include some of the restitution there. I think the amount is $100,000 for restitution there to the family. Now, like I said, he has made a plan to try to better himself. He has a family that supports him. He is doing everything he can. He understands that this was a tragic accident, but one he was definitely responsible for. And what we're asking for is as much leniency as possible from the force, for him to be able to move forward with the situation, be able to make amends as much as possible. And I think he did provide a letter to the court as well to kind of speak to that as far as an apology letters that was to the family, his family, the family of the victim, as well as to the judge.
And I've received that.
And so that's what we're asking for today, judges, for everything to be considered. We understand this is, you can't bring that person back. You can't just go back to make amends with Mr. Addison, but he wants to try to make as much of a mess he can to society and do better more.
The prosecution doesn't hold back, calling this one of the worst intoxication manslaughters. The crash is on video. James ran over Addison twice, then tried to flee. And here's the contrast. James imagines freedom, while Addison's family imagines a life without him. Harsh, but that's exactly how prosecutors drive home the need for maximum time.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Nichols.
Your Honor, I think any consideration to Mr. James's due was given when he got a 50-year cap. I have no hesitation asking the court to exercise the full 50 years. This case is one of the worst intoxication manslaughters. It's on video where he plows into Mr. Addison, who's at a stoplight on the motorcycle, and while trying to get away, runs over him and the motorcycle again. It's horrific, Your Honor. What is also just inconceivable to me is that a man who's on parole for several possessions of phencyclidine PCP finds himself behind the wheel on PCP again. And this time it ends in the death of somebody. His criminal history is extensive. It starts with minor drug offenses, then a conviction for aggravated robbery, and then I believe it's 5 drug convictions all at the same time in 2020, for which he was quickly paroled out and on parole when this happened. The fact that he gets to make plans in his mind for a day he's set free, I find rather offensive, and I think the Addison family finds offensive. They lost a son, a brother, a husband. There's no Nothing we can do in this courtroom makes that better. And sometimes the justice system is a poor substitute for what people lost. I think the best we can do at this point is this man spend 50 years in prison where he cannot hurt anybody else due to his own selfish decisions, and continued use of substances. It's in the pre-sentence report. He minimizes his own addiction, his own dependency. He even claimed he did not know how he could have gotten PCP in his system the day this happened, that maybe he touched a bottle and it transferred through his skin. And I find that reprehensible, Your Honor. And that's why I'm asking the court for that full 50 years.
Thank you.
This is devastating. The judge reminds James, this is his third DWI. He was on parole when this crash happened. And that excuse? Claiming he touched a bottle and somehow got PCP in his system? It's beyond unbelievable. For the family listening, that must have felt like another slap in the face.
So, Mr. James, a couple of things that Mr. Nichols didn't say that I think are also extremely important is this isn't your first driving while intoxicated. This is your third. And so you didn't learn in 2006. You didn't learn in 2017. 2017, you got your second DWI. You were given probation. It was revoked. I appreciate that you entered a plea of guilty because for myself and for the family, I'm glad we didn't have to see what it looks like this would look like on a video because it is just horrible. And the fact that you are truly saying that you think you touched something and got PCP when you have had TCP cases over and over and over again, and you're on parole for possession of a controlled substance and you kill someone. It's a nightmare. Sure, go ahead.
On that night that I split out, I've been clean the entire time. Okay, I stopped off at a friend's house that gave him some advice about what he was doing. And during that time, I did contact a volunteer. I was not high at that time at all.
It was in your system.
Yes, well, you know how I fight you.
At this time,
It's big.
And there it is, 50 years, the maximum sentence. With a deadly weapon finding, too, meaning his vehicle legally counts as the weapon. The judge even admits she's at a loss for words. That silence says it all. This case isn't just about punishment, it's about a tragedy too heavy for words.
based on your history, based on the nature of this offense, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of intoxication manslaughter. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 50 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Correction. There will be a deadly weapon finding based on the indictment alleges a deadly weapon. You will receive credit on this sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement and I followed it, and so you've waived your right to appeal. I have also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provided you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Lewis. There's really so many other things I could say about how horrible this is, and rarely am I out of words, but I really don't have the words to say what a tragic circumstances based on your behavior this led to. Y'all can have a seat at council table for the victim impact statement, and we'll go off the record. Do you want me to leave it on for the other family member to hear? If the family member's okay that's given the statement, then I'll leave it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're like,
Of course, I began in regard to the judge and everybody's courtroom. I stand representing my family, Monica's absence, and some of my grandbabies' absence, a couple of colleagues, and the one that's here. My daughter, my husband, and my nephew. We have had a tremendous loss. And I saw that heavily drove a vehicle and just took my baby life. Praise God, it was the fix. I couldn't stay the same social. But after vacation, enjoying him that same day, figured him 3 times before he left. And then a phone call come. We had a beautiful day talking 3 times that day. And a phone call come. I missed the call and Monica telling me in the hospital. I give them my baby's vignette. My first boy. Very close. We did.
This is the heart of the case. Addison's mother relives her last day with her son and the pain of losing him. 3 years later, she still can't drive past the crash site. For James, prison may end someday. But for her, the grief is forever. Do you think 50 years feels like enough in light of this loss?
Our anniversary dinner together, his wife and I, we had a day separation anniversary. We had lunches together, our anniversaries, backyard picnics, birthday celebrations, our group of babies, his little babies. Finally get to be adults, praise God, they're getting ready after college. My son is in his happiest moment. Everything he ordered to do. He had his motorcycle, his car, his house, they went to his barn. Like everything was just in order. And bam, it's just taken away. Like, yes. Perhaps someone who got to have a wiggle, not able to drive, and I heard drug my baby. Till this day, 3 years, I can't pass that way. I can't cross that intersection. Not even far from my church, closest to me to get home. I can't make myself drive that way. And I heard, I wake up in my sleep crying. That's crazy because of a death taken too soon. Behind something like drinking or drugs, why? I can't communicate with anyone myself because everybody's dead. We're not the baby girl. I can't go find it, but Jesus to go to. They understand my courage. I don't want to disturb my family that are sick. And to know that I'm standing here 3 years later, you should have been come to court for that. I've been hurting and crying, standing for my family, holding ourselves together. If you all can see the ripples in my heart behind my lungs, that I try to stay tall for my family, for my grandbabies and my daughter and my husband. It's hard. No church can even help me because it's hard. Nobody understands my jigger. And I think whatever they give you today, you will deserve. I don't wish you no bad luck in there, but you're gonna once again remember, not only gonna hurt you cost me, but you're gonna relive the life that you have taken because you're gonna see hard times. It's not gonna be straight for you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I can go back with the bailiffs. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. But you.
Thank y'all for being here.
Case closed. James gets 50 years. The judge weighed his history, the prosecution's call for maximum time, and the family's grief, and decided society is safer with him behind bars. But the victim's family carries the real-life sentence. If this case shook you like it did us, hit like, share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more courtroom breakdowns.